Hi, and welcome to my guided tour for my ETEC 590 ePortfolio for the Masters of Educational Technology program at the University of British Columbia. The purpose of this ePortfolio is to create a capstone experience which allows me to qualify for the TQS and UBC standards of graduation. This portfolio is also to demonstrate my personal growth and learning during my 2 years in the program. This development will be expressed through the use of various artifacts, personal reflections, and meaningful connections between MET courses. In terms of my goals, I want to track my development within the MET program and to showcase my progress during the program with a focus on personal reflection, meaningful connections, and ability to apply research to practice. I'm also hoping that this will be a useful example for current and future MET students, and also to be used as evidence of my learning for future employers. In addition, I hope that this will be a vessel for my expression of growth and learning that showcases my accomplishments while making connections from theory to practice. The purpose of this guided tour is to present my ePortfolio. The guide will consider both my metaphor that I chose to reflect my growth and learning, and will also provide insight into the structure of my ePortfolio. The first is my metaphor. I chose to express my learning in a deep and personal way. I wanted something that I was passionate about, and that had a good probability to be relatable to learning. I therefore chose the metaphor of running, with a focus on training for my very first marathon. I decided to relate it this way because I saw lots of similarities between the two. There was lots of things that you should do, successes, failures, things not to do, and they all seem to relate both to running and learning. I found that learning is an endurance run, and that we're in it for the long haul. There may be stumbling blocks along the way, but the importance is to focus on enjoying the experience. Learning in MET and learning to run a marathon are very similar, where it isn't the end result that is important, but the journey to get there and taking that next step forward. This metaphor is deeply personal, like I said, and I also realized that this is how I wanted to showcase my learning early on in the program. For my categories, I chose to break down my learning experience into 7 categories. These categories all relate to my experiences regarding marathon training and relate to my experiences in the MET program. My first category is called rookie mistakes. This includes things like running too fast at the beginning of a run, or eating the wrong foods before a run. What happens is you make these mistakes and you learn never to do them again. I wanted to relate this experience to the mistakes I made in the MET program. Therefore, this section focuses on the artifacts that showcase my learning from my own mistakes and how I'm better for it. My second category is called running gear. This category is all about selecting the right equipment. In running, you need to have the right shoes for your body type and the right clothes. Likewise, selection is important in the MET program, as many courses allow for selection of media technology to showcase learning. In addition, you also have to research your brands for running. Make sure you buy the right equipment, which can create improvement in your running time. This is also true in MET, as research done in the MET courses allow for application and improvement in the classroom. Therefore, this section focuses on artifacts that showcase diverse selection of technologies and my ability to conduct research. My third category is called maintaining motivation. When running, the question always arises, why am I doing this? Or, what is the purpose? Finding your motivation for doing something is a means to continued effort. This is comparable to the MET program, and it is essential to know why you are learning this information and how you're going to apply it to the classroom. Therefore, this section will include artifacts that relate to applications to the classroom. My fourth category is called team building. This is all about teamwork and collaboration. Anyone who thinks that running is a solo sport needs to talk to a serious runner. Running takes collaboration and teamwork. There's lots of people who support the runner, like running partners and those who maintain and work running events. This support and collaboration is another major aspect of learning in the MET program. This section focuses on work I have done with colleagues. The collaboration section acts as a platform for educational theory in regards to collaboration and discovery learning. My fifth category is called pushing through the wall. The wall is something every runner faces. It's that time when you run out of energy and feel as though you cannot go on any further. What is interesting about the wall phenomenon is that when you get past both the physical and mental aspects, you find you have more energy and ability. Pushing through the wall, therefore, is the realization of ability. This has huge meaning for me in the MET program because there was countless moments where I thought I couldn't keep going and that I didn't have the abilities or skills needed to continue. What is so powerful and meaningful was that I was able to push through the negativity and work hard to learn and meet the objectives. After finishing each difficult task, I really felt like the renewed energy was there and I had that sense of ability. This section therefore contains artifacts which demonstrate the skills and abilities that I had to push through the wall to meet the objectives. My sixth category is called the run. The run is the long distance run where you have hours to reflect. I think this really relates to the MET program, as it also had great moments of reflection where I had the opportunity to think about my philosophy of teaching and learning, as well as reflecting upon the completion of a course. Reflection is important not only in this e-portfolio, but also in each individual course. My final category is called the finish line. What is interesting about the finish line in a run is that it is not as culminating as most people expect. Indeed, the finish line represents success and celebration, but it is not finite. After the race, a dedicated runner will think about the next one and how to improve for next time. Just like a good learner, one will celebrate success, but also think about how to continue and improve for next time. This section will mostly be my reflections upon what I've learned and transformed to application to the workforce. This section is really what we call What's Next. In terms of my e-portfolio structure, my audience was always at the forefront of my thinking. I wanted to make sure that my e-portfolio was pleasing to the eye, had a nice balance of text and images, and most importantly, was easy to navigate it. I created my website as a Google site with links to help navigate through my artifacts and reflections. In terms of navigation, I made sure to include a navigation sidebar so that the viewer can always get back to the home page. I also included links to pages both in the sidebar and as buttons at the bottom of each page to ease navigation and for user convenience. At the end of each page there's a little running shoe picture, and this visual is to indicate that the page is finished and that all the writing is done for that section. I also decided to have the home page with links to separate pages for the 7 categories. Each category page then had sub-pages for the various artifacts. I wanted to keep the e-portfolio clean and streamlined to showcase my artifacts. I also felt that it would be less visually distracting and there would be less scrolling for the viewer. For my artifacts, I chose a variety of them to showcase my competency as a graduate student while also showcasing my evolution and growth as a UBC student. I made sure to include all 9 courses with 2 artifacts for each course. This way all courses are accounted for and no one course is seen as being more important than the other. At the end, in the finish line category, you have more of my reflections, and this is my what's next after MET. This is what I've learned and how I will transform it to application in the workforce. This includes a short reflection of my MET e-portfolio progress. Finally, at the end is my evaluation rubric. This helps solidify my expectation for graduation. The rubric outlines the expectations that need to be met in order to be successful with this e-portfolio. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy watching and going through my e-portfolio.
I don't know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. Hanging on the promises and the songs of yesterday.